Gentlemen, boys, and ghouls, step right up. Behind this curtain lies a ghastly concoction of delight, horror, fantasy, and terror. Your every wish is our command, your every whimsical desire brought to life. But I'm warning you, there's always a price. Welcome to the greatest show on earth!
Scares, everybody, and welcome to the 22nd edition of Bloodbath Theatre. I'm your host, William Pattison, King of Splatter Punk, and author of the Camp Crystal Lake novels. And along with me, right here, is my horror host, Skull John. We've got a very interesting show for you this time. We've got 70s made-for-TV movies. Now, I know you're going to say, 70s made-for-TV movies must be low budget, must be really bad acting and stuff, nobody actors and that. No, not exactly. No, the 70s, we had a lot of really good made-for-TV movies. And a lot of really made-for-TV horror movies that were actually pretty damn good. And I've got two very good ones. I've got Satan's Triangle, and I've got Gargoyles. But before we start our movies, it's time for our lost television show, Project UFO. So let's check out what's going on with Project Blue Book on Project UFO.
Ezekiel saw the wheel. This is the wheel he said he saw. These are unidentified flying objects that people say they are seeing now. Are they proof that we are being visited by civilizations from other stars? Or just what are they? The United States Air Force began an investigation of this high strangeness in a search for the truth. What you are about to see is part of that 20-year search.
It's all right. Of course. I do understand a little. May I ask one question? How did you know my name? I don't know. I'm sorry. Frightened, is that what you're asking? Yes, but I'm curious. I mean, why did you come here? What do you want?
Exactly what I want to know, sister. What do they want?
Oh, Sister Anna.
Thought I was the only one up and around. Thank goodness I was wrong. How long have you been watching it?
About 15 minutes. It appeared just before 10:25. I checked.
Well, can't say very much for their manners, whoever they are. You'd think they'd step out and let us know if they're friend or foe.
I know this is going to sound as if I'm completely insane, but... Well, they claim they are friendly, that they mean no harm. They told me so.
They what?
Don't ask me to explain it because I can't. It has something to do with those sounds. Thought transference of some kind.
Like they talk to you? They actually communicated? In English?
They don't use words. It's not a spoken language. It's simple, direct thoughts.
Lord, how could that be?
We communicated, Anna. Either that or my mind is completely gone.
Oh, Leathers, you were sane enough when we were talking before bedtime tonight. Oh, come on now, girl. You're on your own home grounds, astrophysics. You're our PhD expert here. Aren't these the same kind of problems you deal with when you're back at the observatory?
Anna, what are you trying to get me to do?
We're going to walk out there right now and rap on their front door, if we can find one, and ask them what they mean. Swooping down in the middle of the night, scaring people half to death. Come on, let's go.
No.
Well, they might be leaving any minute.
Anna, I don't think they'd want us.
Okay, you stay here. But I have to satisfy my curiosity.
Except if something happens, what do I tell Sister Superior?
I am still second in command here. I ordered you. What more could happen to this old frame anyway? A swarm of hungry germs gnawing away inside my bones, killing off the blood cells. Oh, everybody pretends, but they're not kidding Sister Anna. A couple of months at best, that'll be it. Oh my. How's that for a bit of majesty? Come on, let's take a closer look.
Be careful, let's not get too close.
Lord, Anna! Oh, what's happening? I can't move my legs.
Neither can I, but it's okay. They must be doing it.
What are they trying to say?
I can't tell. Do you see a flower?
It's the strangest flower I ever saw. Aren't they telling you?
Wait. We will always... No. We will never cease our... No. When they are together.
When what's together? When what's together?
Everybody sure starts Christmas early, don't they? Nothing to do with Christmas. This is December 11th, day before the feast day of the Virgin of Guadalupe.
Yeah?
One of the biggest holidays for Mexicans in the whole year, no matter which side of the border they live on.
What did you do? Read a tourist guide to the Southwest?
Hey, Paco! El disco UFO. Platillo volante que avista, hermana Lucia.
Sheriff Diaz?
Major Gatlin, I see.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. Welcome to Guadalupe Wells. Your navigation must have been excellent, not to miss us entirely.
This is Sergeant Harry Pitt.
Sergeant? That long drive from Alamogordo. Would you like to rest or refresh yourselves?
If you're available, we'd like to get started and talk along the way.
Major, I am completely at your disposal. Now and at any time. Here's my card.
Those two nuns who said they sighted the UFO, you happen to know them?
No, I don't. I understand the one called Sister Lucy is just visiting there. She's a patient.
Patient? What kind of patient?
St. Hilary's is not a convent. It is a kind of a hospital for the old and sick and for some who just plain need a rest. This Sister Lucy, she's been working in an observatory near Tucson. They thought she needed a vacation.
She's an astronomer? Really? A qualified observer?
That I do not know, sir.
Sure be a help if she has had some experience.
And you two need all the help you can get, huh? Here we are, just before the Virgin's feast day, and a UFO was seen by two holy sisters. And the poor people here, they want miracles. They want dreams to come true. Yes, Major? You fellows have your work cut out for you.
Yes. Anna? I didn't wake you, did I?
Oh, I was in the Ozarks, smelling the lilacs. Mama and Papa and Jonathan and I went to the Ozarks once, when I was 7. I really missed lilacs.
Anna, I didn't realize you were feeling so uncomfortable.
Oh, it's a night chill, curiosity. And you know what curiosity can do.
Now, you stop talking like that.
What did you come to tell me?
It appears we are sharing our adventure with half the county. Maybe even half the state.
Oh, how? Why? Sister Superior would tell no one.
Maria overheard us telling Sister Superior last night.
Maria from the infirmary, that nice Indian woman?
She claims she went straight home and kept it a secret. She only told her husband and her sister and her brother-in-law. And with the Virgin's feast day, well, they're starting to come from miles around.
Oh, how are the three of us going to handle this?
Anna, what are you doing? You stay right there in bed.
No, I have to see what's going on. I still have my work to do. And Sister Superior hasn't completely relieved me of my duties yet.
One of the reasons I dropped in. I could do with a deep breath myself.
Well, you can inhale outside just as well. And better for you. You didn't get back to sleep either, huh?
Oh, Anna, you know, considering the shape I was in when I first came here, well, last night just about pushed me over the edge.
Oh. Oh, Lord. Have all those people walked all the way out here? Oh. Well, I I thought you came out here from the observatory to sort out your problems, not add to them.
Don't I wish? I've got a terrible decision to make, Anna, and I can't put it off any longer.
Well, do you feel like talking about it?
Why do you think I dropped in? I'm thinking of quitting, of leaving the order. Either it's changed or I've changed, but I don't belong. Not with what I'm doing.
Faith versus science. Where have I heard about that conflict before?
But even before I went to work with Dr. Gleason in Tucson, I mean, even before 2 years ago, I was drifting away. Astrophysics is my work, and my work has become everything. I'm not a sister in an order. I'm a scientist walking around in a nun's habit. And that isn't right, is it?
So you came here to pray and meditate and ask God, I presume, to help you make the right decision. And the first month you're here, the skies explode.
So I have to ask, why us, Anna? Why me, with all the other nuns, with all the staff? Why were we the only two awake?
Yes, I've been speculating, too. Spaceship visits 2 nuns. One getting ready to die, the other looking around for a way to live. What in heaven's name are they trying to tell us?
Sister Lucy.
Yes,
Excuse me, Sister Lucy. Sister Superior would like to talk to you right away.
Oh.
Just Sister Lucy, Sister Anna. You're supposed to be resting, she said.
Don't mind me, Sister Claire, but I am not taking 40 winks. And I am not addled yet. Neither is Sister Lucy.
Sister Superior is talking to Sheriff Diaz and 2 Air Force officers.
Already?
Project Blue Book, Wright-Patterson Air Base in Ohio. They know all about UFOs and things like that.
They do? Great. Got a few dozen questions for them myself.
Sister Lucy is not a regular member of St. Hilary's. She's only been here since the 10th. Sister Lucy, Major Gatlin, Sergeant Fitz of the Air Force Foreign Technology Division.
How do you do, gentlemen?
Sister Lucy?
I'm afraid the excitement was a little too much for Sister Anna, so I told her to rest today. If you talk with her tonight, will that be time enough?
Of course.
Oh, then if you will excuse us, please.
Certainly.
Sheriff Diaz and I have a little figuring to do. Ramon.
I understand you spent most of last year at the observatory.
Yes, on an astrophysics research team. I kind of conked out, so they offered me the R&R here at St. Hilary's.
Notes you gave to Sister Superior? They were certainly clear and concise.
Thank you.
What about the 3 pictures you said you took?
Camera's just a little cheap one, Major. You have to realize that. I gave the roll to Sister Agnes. She's been taking pictures of this region over the years and has a very good darkroom. I hope by this afternoon we'll all know if I got lucky or not.
I certainly hope you did, ma'am. We all do.
One of the Carolinas. No, Virginia maybe? No. Definitely Carolina. South Carolina. Is that it? You're from South Carolina?
I'll be doggoned. How in the name of... How did you zero in on it like that, ma'am?
Linguistic geography is a hobby. I get lucky with that one once in a while, too. What town?
6 Miles, South Carolina, ma'am. Northern part of the state.
I'm sorry, Major. What did you want to ask me?
That's all right, sister. I wanted to ask you, everything. From the beginning.
Indiana. Illinois. No, Indiana, right?
Right as the rain in Spain, Mrs. Higgins. That's quite an accomplishment.
Now, if we can just figure out what it was last night, I'd really feel I'd done something.
It was right at this spot, I understand.
Yes.
Major, I'll carry on with the test while you 2 talk.
I think I saw it approach out of the northwest, but I'm not sure if what first attracted me was the object itself or its reflection in my window. I was writing letters. I looked up and saw something bright, so I came outside and I came along that walk there and finally came out to about there. It floated to a stop right up there.
You say it was a triadic shape.
Yes, like 3 spacecraft connected together, a triad. It floated to a stop of about 70 or 80 feet above the ground. It just parked. Then 4 beams of light emerged from underneath the 2 higher cylinders. Here, 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 and here. I think they were the landing gear, but they weren't made of metal. They were pure light.
Are you fairly certain of the size you mentioned?
Sure as I can be under the circumstances. A span of about 70 or 80 feet. As I said, each of the 3 sections were equidistant connected, a triad. A very unusual looking machine, Major. Nothing like we have. I know there's not much in the way of physical evidence. There's no landing gear marks, no trash bags, no outer space flags planted, no golf balls, no memorial plaques. But I would assume that Sergeant Fitz would find some anomalies in the soil. Now to the nitty-gritty.
A couple of nitty-gritties. Up to now, what you and Sister Anna say you saw isn't dissimilar from several sightings in our files.
But seeing images of flames and flowers is just a little out of the ordinary. Is that what you're saying?
What are you saying?
That Anna and I saw the same thing. We had the same reaction. Wild. We both saw this unusual vision. Nothing to do with religion, Major. So far as I know. Some of them may insist it's nothing but a vision from on high, but I will. Anyway, please ignore my nun's habit. Ignore that we're at St. Hilary's. Try and look on me as a civilian, okay? Both of us saw between us and the vehicle, suddenly out of nowhere, a sort of moving hologram. That's all I could think of. We both saw a kind of fire with flames, just burning and burning with no heat. And in the middle of it, there was a flower of some kind, a carnation or a rose or a tulip. We both saw the same thing, Major, and she'll tell you.
Sister Lucy, could you explain a little more about the communications that you had with the vehicle or with someone inside it? I couldn't quite determine.
Can I explain it?
Yes, ma'am.
There were simply several thoughts suddenly inside my consciousness. I know they came in peace, that they meant no harm, and definitely here. But I don't know if here meant St. Hilary's or New Mexico or within 1,000 miles.
If they put thoughts in your head, ma'am, it seems strange they didn't put the explanation in your mind as well.
That is what is so terribly strange, isn't it? They wanted to communicate, I think, but suddenly the transmission was jammed or something, almost as if one part wanted to give us some word and another faction didn't. So they tried to show us visually. All I did get was something about, we will never cease, we will always continue. And then the most baffling part, when they are together.
They? And when what is together?
I have no idea. I couldn't get it. And then it took off with an incredible intake of air.
Sister Lucy, Sister Agnes said she has your pictures.
I'm sure I didn't make any mistakes. I was so very, very careful. I know how important it...
No, I'm sure you didn't. Completely fogged, the whole roll.
Radiation?
Wouldn't you say?
We'd still like to have them if we may.
Certainly. Maybe your magicians can find an image. Oh, and I thought I was so calm and collected and unflustered to go and get my camera and take pictures of it. Plant a tiny seed of doubt in your minds about my reliability?
No, ma'am, not a bit. If you hadn't even tried to take pictures, then I would have wondered.
If you don't mind, we'd also like to keep your camera for a little while.
Of course.
Sister Lucy. Sister Lucy, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for you.
It's not all that bad. It's disappointment, certainly, but...
It's Anna. She's passed away.
lovely timepiece. I kept telling Anna she should have it repaired. Her grandmother, she told me.
Yes, ma'am. We were wondering about
Oh, my. Look at this. If you like me like I like you, let's be good friends the whole year through. And that's signed Dorothy Quinlan, 3rd grade. Border Star School, Kansas City, Missouri, 1921.
Wonder why she kept just that one.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. Now, what is it you want to know?
Sister Anna's cause of death. Has that been confirmed?
Dr. Robinson verified it was an embolism.
A result of the chronic bone disease she'd been suffering from?
I'm sure he'll turn over her complete medical file. No rare affliction from outer space, gentlemen. Just a simple, deadly clot. I must say I was amazed to learn she was in the library this morning. You're looking all over for something, standing on the ladder.
We'll check with Dr. Robbins. Would you mind if we ask you a few personal questions about Sister Lucy?
Not at all. I can see how you must. Vanna's death, that leaves Sister Lucy as the only witness.
Basically, would you say that she's in good health?
Sister Lucy came here the 10th of last month, very exhausted, after a demanding 1.5 years at the observatory.
Has she ever suffered any emotional disturbance?
Not to my knowledge. Her reputation has always been that of a stable, hard-working woman, a professional. Dr. Gleason can go into more detail, I'm sure. She worked on Dr. Gleason's project.
I have an appointment with him Thursday, ma'am.
May I ask what time you're seeing him?
Well, I think it's 2 p.m. at the observatory, ma'am.
Sister Lucy's been invited to meet with the Archbishop's assistant Thursday afternoon. It would be a great help if she could ride over with you.
Well, I'd be delighted, ma'am.
The Archbishop's assistant. That would be the Monsignor?
Yes, of course, Monsignor Killian.
In connection with the sighting?
The rumors already reached them, and they want to get the details straight, that's all. When there's talk of miracles, a certain amount of nervousness is understandable.
I can understand how there'd be plenty of questions, ma'am. In our business. And in yours.
Just keep coming, don't they, sister?
It's just one day I don't mind getting away.
Sure hope we finish the interviews on time. I can get you back for Anna's service.
I've already said goodbye, Sergeant. What are most of your people like?
Investigation teams? Well, they're usually...
No, I mean the people that have seen UFOs. Are they just a little feathery? Do they have histories of hallucinations? They trying to get attention, you know?
From A to Z, sister. All kinds. Most of them very legitimate. Believe they did see something. 75% of the time, though, they can be explained. Weather balloons, aircraft, unusual seen in unusual circumstances. Meteorological disturbances, refractions, reflections.
What slot do you and Major Gatlin put me into?
We just started.
Well, you've heard the whole fantastic story, Sergeant.
I couldn't tell you our recommendations even if I wanted to, sister.
My name's Lucy.
Oh, okay. I just thought that the proper...
And it's Harry?
A choice of words, sister. Perhaps it was not intentional, although I do wish you had taken time to consider the ultimate effect of discussing it. You are catering to human weakness, ignorance, superstition.
Sister Anna and I told only our superior. I reported only what I saw and felt.
I am not interested in what you thought you saw, sister. To my mind, the whole story is highly irresponsible.
With all due respect, Monsignor, I have no quarrel with the authority of the church, the Archbishop, or with you. But I repeat, I have said nothing. I have done nothing to mislead anyone by promoting what you choose to call a shabby scientific hoax.
Need I labor the point, sister? If this is to be encouraged, soon there will be reports of miracles out at St. Hilary's. Candlelight processions, pilgrimages, mass emotional displays. Now, we will not permit that to happen. You are a nun. You are a reputable scientist. We have the right to expect your complete cooperation, do we not?
What kind of complete cooperation do you suggest, Monsignor?
Through circumstance, you are now the only living witness to this bizarre incident. Your words alone, sister, can determine whether or not the public accepts it.
I believe the interpretation of the Air Force is just as...
Well, they have only your version on which to base their opinion. No other witness. No physical evidence. Photographs which did not turn out.
You want me to deny it ever happened?
We are merely suggesting that you tell the truth. It is true that you have not been well. It is true that you have been physically and perhaps even psychically depleted. It is true that your superior has ordered you to take an indefinite leave of absence to rest at St. Hilary's because of your exhaustion.
I believe, Monsignor, that I have regained a great deal of my strength.
I am delighted to hear it, sister. I only hope that you have found enough strength with which to disassociate yourself from all of this UFO rubbish. It never happened, sister. Deny it. Recant.
Recant? The Inquisition was buried a few centuries ago. Are you trying to bring it back?
Insults do not become you, sister.
I meant no insult, Monsignor. I just find your suggestion hard to believe and impossible to accept.
Do you take seriously your solemn vow of obedience?
Very seriously, Monsignor. Obedience to the Archbishop. When I receive such an order or suggestion directly from him, then I will do what I must.
That was all?
No, not really.
Want to talk about it anymore?
Don't encourage me. I might never stop.
Well, that's a heck of a big decision. Deciding to resign or not.
Heck of a big decision. What are you gonna do?
About what?
Are you in for the full hitch or whatever it is? The best years of your life, as they say?
Well, right now I'm in for 3 more. If things stay as interesting as they have been, yeah, I'll probably make it a career. Can't think of anything on the outside I'd like better.
I think maybe I'd like the outside. I mean, on the inside, you've got a lot of possibilities, a lot of choices. Well, my inside isn't quite the same as yours, Harry.
Is it all because of what happened at your meeting?
Sort of, yeah. It's got something to do with it.
Is it all because of your sighting?
Kind of. That brought things to a head.
What happens to a nun when she isn't a nun anymore?
You just get on with it, I suppose. Maybe I could let you know one of these days.
Lucy, I'd like to give you my address. You know, just in case. I mean, if there's any reason.
I'd like that very much, Harry. Thank you, Maria. You're very kind. And thank you for the clothes. Muchas gracias. come back. Who are you? Where are you from? No. No, I'm not receiving. No, what? The fire is what? Please, I don't understand. A flower? Yes, a rose? Yes, I get that. The rose is perfect. When they are together? You told me that before, but what does it mean? No, don't leave yet.
Sir, you've just heard what Sister Lucy told us about yesterday's encounter.
Gentlemen, I can only ask you to consider the circumstances of this second happening. My sympathy for Sister Lucy goes beyond words. But it is obvious that her simple hallucination has grown into a delusion.
Then we'd like to make a transcript and have you initial it for us, if you would, please.
Whatever you like, Major. I can provide an affidavit, or I'd be glad to sign the transcript.
Thank you, Monsignor.
It's only part of my duty, gentlemen. To complete your files, you might look over Sister Lucy's medical records of the past year. Some findings of a psychologist that we suggested she see might help.
Thank you very much.
Well, gentlemen, does that wrap it up?
Yes, sir. That wraps it up.
Welcome to stay longer, you know that.
Thank you. I've made plans. May I ask you one favor?
Of course, if I can.
Those things of Anna's, may I have them? They'd mean so much to me.
Certainly. They'd just get lost.
Thank you, Sister Superior, for everything.
Goodbye, Lucy Riker.
Square away?
For better or for worse. Thank you for the lift, and thank you for your many courtesies.
You're most welcome, sister. Miss Riker.
Goodbye, Major.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Harry.
Bye, Lucy.
Try not to make me out to be too much of a crazy when you write your reports. Well, let's see if I can get this thing started for openers.
Listen, you sure you want to make that trip all the way out to San Francisco by yourself?
I talked to my brother and his wife. They can't hardly wait for me to get there. They've just had twins. I'm going to be the most popular babysitter in the Bay Area.
Well, you have my address.
I sure do. Look out for postcards. Grand Canyon, Golden Gate Bridge.
Lucy, drive carefully. Take care of yourself, you hear?
I'll be okay. I'll let you know when I found a place.
Can I tell you something just between you and me? I believe what you said.
Really? Then can I tell you both something?
Shoot.
Before it lifted off, I kept asking it, why land here? Did they have any reason? And their thought came. They said, because we lived here once. This planet was ours. This was home.
Here? Why did they leave?
The thought wouldn't register. I got the impression of somebody crying. You don't have to tell me if you believe that or not. Hey, don't tease me. Let's be good friends the whole year through. Rose, perfect love. Fire, perfect knowledge. Fire, rose, too. Anna, I still don't know any more than I did about the flaming rose. What rose? Where? Page 107. We shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time, when the tongues of flame are enfolded into the crown knot of fire, and the fire and the rose are one. the Rose are together, that'll be the day.
Passing over St. Hilary's, Mage.
Alrighty, so that was our episode of Project UFO. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are into ufology, parapsychology, and that, you should go and check out on Spreaker my dear friend's show, The Paranormal Code with Rich Giordano. Rich is fantastic. He talks about debunking UFOs. He talks about the paranormal. Just a fantastic show. Rich does his shows on Thursdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. Pacific. So check out the Paranormal Code on Spreaker this Sunday or on Thursday. So check it out, and if you go into the chat room, tell them William Pattison sent you. Alrighty, it is time for our first feature. First feature. Satan's Triangle. Alrighty, a US CG pilot, Paganini, and his winchman, Haig, answer an SOS call from a derelict schooner called the Requiet. Haig lowers himself to the ship, where he finds 3 bodies and a survivor, a beautiful blonde named Eva. When Haig tries to lift himself and Eva up, the winch breaks, and they fall into the ocean, and they have to get up back onto the schooner. So Paganini has to leave Haig and Eva there overnight so that he can get the winch fixed. So during this time, Haig goes and he tries to figure out what happened on this schooner, why the deaths, and some of the weird stuff that Eva shows him. But, it's it has to be weird, because where they are is the Bermuda Triangle. So let's check out Satan's Triangle. Enjoy.
Within the last 30 years, just off the east coast of the United States, more than 1,000 men, women, and children have vanished from the face of the earth. No one knows how or why. This is one explanation.
You are clear for takeoff. One 136. You are clear for takeoff. What is your problem, 136?
All right, buckle in, buckle in. Miami Rescue, this is 136. We are now ready for takeoff. What was it this time? Redhead? Blonde? Brunette?
Never got a chance to find out. What and where?
Mayday. Grid 725.
You won't believe this. The Devil's Triangle. Dead center.
Both units are airborne, sir, and proceeding to Mayday.
I love you truly, yes I do. I love... Paganini, drop it down.
What for? We're more than 100 miles from target.
Just drop it down. Not bad.
Think about 24 hours a day, day in and day out?
No. Sometimes I think about you, Paganini, and your foul temper and...
Hey, watch it.
Yes, sir. Wasn't too shabby, though. Not bad at all. I love you, truly I do.
137.
The bottom just dropped out of our thermometer here and our intakes are icing up. We've got to return to base immediately.
Miami to 137. You're clear to return to base. How about 136?
I don't know what those guys are talking about. The weather's beautiful up here. Everything is clear to Mayday. Isaac Light, below.
Any sign of those two keepers? I'm serious. Explain how the keepers vanished off that island. Can you explain any of those spooky things that happened in the triangle? Explain them to me.
Huh? You know, we'd be famous. Haig and Paganini. Paganini and Haig. We'd be in the newspapers, talk shows, the whole enchilada.
Well, I told you what I think.
Yeah. Trouble is, not many people believe in the devil these days.
When you believe in God, you believe in the devil.
I believe in God. God, Santa Claus, Easter Bunny. A devil? That I can't quite swallow. Paganini and Haig. Like that.
I love you truly, Paganini.
136 to base. Did 137 return safely?
Yes, 136. We've given full mechanical checkout and found no evidence of freeze-up. Need any assistance, 136?
No. Approaching target area now.
Roger, the Venturous will be there 0800 tomorrow morning.
Roger and out.
There's the flare. And there she is.
She's a motor sailor. Big one. 80, 85 foot easy.
You see anyone?
Not yet.
She looks abandoned. No, wait. Is that a body hanging from the main mast? My God, it is.
There's another one on the forward hatch. I can't tell if he's alive. Looks like something moving inside. Give me the horn. Take the stick.
Got it.
Hello, White. Please respond. This is the Coast Guard, White. Please respond. Hello, White. Please respond. This is the Coast Guard.
Better notify Miami. Miami Rescue, this is 136. Come in, please. Miami Rescue, this is 136. Come in, please. We've lost contact.
I better go down.
Okay. Hey, watch yourself.
Right, buddy. man in the hatch is dead.
What about the one on the mast?
He's dead, too. And he's a priest. I'm going inside.
Right.
Magdalene, do you read me?
Yes. You see anybody inside?
No, nobody's in the salon. I'm going below. Looks like it's blowing pretty bad up there.
It is. So get going.
And you stay away from those masts.
Getting rough up here. The sky's full of electricity. The whole area looks screwy. Now my engine's acting up.
The crew's quarters and the forward cabins are all empty. All I have left is aft.
Well, hurry it up!
Magdalene.
Go ahead.
Make sure the tape recorder is working.
It's been working. What do you got?
I found another one. A man. And he's floating in the air.
What's the matter with you? Cut the jokes.
I'm not joking, Magdalene. He's floating in the air, and he's dead.
Hank? You gotta get out of there. My fuel pressure's dropping. Hank? Come in, Hank. Hank! Come in! Hank! Come in! Hey, get your tail out of there! I'm leaving without you!
Be ready to take up a survivor. all right. We're gonna get you out of here. Hold on. Come on. You'll be all right. You all right, huh? Hold on. You okay? Go on inside and get some dry clothes on. Go on. Paganini, can you read me? Peg? Paganini, do you read me? This thing's shorted out. Paganini, can you read me now?
Paganini, can you read me now? Over.
Both of you okay?
Is anybody hurt? Hey!
No, we're all right.
I don't know what happened to that cable.
But it looks like we're stuck here.
I'm afraid you are. I gotta get out of here fast. My engine started acting up again. My fuel to get back is borderline.
You gonna be okay? Yeah. You promised to light me some candles when you get back to the base.
Hey! Hey!
Paganini? Paganini.
We're going to die on this boat, you know.
Just like the others.
I'm not ready to die yet. She's solid and she's sound. She'll ride it out. And so will we. So why don't you, make us some coffee while I try to find some dry clothes.
You'll find some in here. Underneath the mirror. Here.
Thanks. You want to tell me what happened?
Doesn't matter. I told you we're going to die soon. There's no way off this damn boat. All hope abandon ye who board the requite.
Here, sit down. Come on, sit. We're gonna be all right. Sea's calm. Pretty soon the star's gonna be coming out.
Don't you know where we are? Haven't you seen what's happened on this boat?
You see, they'll want to know what's happened. They'll want to know what's happened to the man on the deck, the priest, and the man in the aft compartment. So, why don't you tell me?
All right. I'll tell you. We came here for a fish. Not just any fish. Hal's fish had to be a striped marlin and had to weigh at least 180 pounds.
I got him, Captain. I got him.
Sit up on the drag, Hal.
Man, look at him. Look at him. He's a beauty. Come on.
Take it.
Oh, come on, baby. Oh, there. Come on now. Come on in. Come on. Slow down, Cleo. Slow down.
Better slow down. He's gonna sound.
How big you think he is? Think he's heavy enough?
He's plenty big.
Maybe I'm gonna wear you out if it's the last thing I do. Come on now.
The weight was the most important thing. That, and it had to be caught from a power sailor. Not a regular fishing boat. It had to be a power sailor. That's the way Hal's stepbrother did it. So that's the way Hal had to do it. Killed a panther in Africa. So Hal had to kill an even bigger one. Was that way with everything.
Including the marlin?
Including the marlin. I've never seen Hal so happy. He and Strickland were like little boys.
Okay, okay. Start reeling in. Open her up a little, Saleo. Now pull back in the rod and sink that hook in as deep as you can. That's it.
Mouth like cock. You got any water?
1-0. 1-0, water. Keep pumping that rod now. You got him. That's it.
You got your bonus too, huh, Jack?
We haven't landed him yet.
Oh, we will, we will.
He's coming up now.
Yeah.
Pick up that line.
Yeah. Yeah, he's coming all right.
Coming up now. Pick up the line.
That's enough. Get away, get away.
Get the slack out of the line. Get the slack out.
Just about
That's
got
it.
Just about
Okay, don't let the fish play you now. You play it.
Quando, take it up.
got
He
it.
does it. Pull it in.
Down, baby.
What is it, Leo?
Got him.
A man adrift.
Galeo, what do you see?
Holy Mother of God.
Come on, this is where all the action is, man. Take a look. Come on, this is where all the action is, Strickland.
Hard right rudder.
Slow it down. Slow it down.
Mr. Bancroft, there's a man adrift off the starboard bow. We're gonna have to let your fish go.
The hell we do.
We gotta pick him up.
Radio the Coast Guard, let them pick him up.
Hal, we've got to pick him up.
Let it go. Let it go.
Strickland! We lose that fish, and you lose $5,000. Now you let that sink in.
A man is worth more than any fish.
What the hell you doing? Get out of here.
A man of God is worth all the fish in all the seas.
Strickland. That's gonna cost you. And you better believe it.
Let's pick that man up.
Hal came so close. I couldn't help feeling sorry for him.
Hey, give me that.
Get out of my way.
Quick, get the ladder down.
From the moment he came aboard, a strange lightning started, and the weather had suddenly changed.
You okay, Father?
I almost lost hope.
Get him below. Get him some dry clothes and show him where he can rest up.
God bless you all.
His face was filled with despair, yet there was a kind of inner strength.
That's just what you need, baby. Priest.
What's wrong?
The crew.
What do you mean?
Vámonos ahora. Vámonos ahora. Empezamos todo. Where do you think you're going? We cannot stay, Capitan. What do you mean you can't? You get back on board. No, we cannot stay. We cannot stay. For the priest here in this place.
What does he mean?
I said get back on board now. No! No! We cannot stay, Capitan, because there's going to be a battle. There's going to be a big battle. See, all this is the devil's place. And the priest will be tested, and my man will die, so we cannot stay. You'll die if you don't get back in his boat. Whatever you want, Capitan. We will not stay, because we're gonna die anyway, you understand? Back in his boat! Ayúdame con esto. I'm telling you, get back in his boat! Don't! They're terrified!
No, that's not the way. Do not blame them for their beliefs.
Days without food, and this is the best I can do. It's hard to believe. I hope you'll excuse me.
I've read that happens to people. I mean, when they go without eating for a while.
Yes, my child, I read it in a book.
Well, I can tell you that's one book that I haven't read. Evie, why aren't you eating?
He was handsome. Too handsome. Would have been easy to forget he was a priest.
You contact the Coast Guard?
I can't raise him. There's too much weather between us and the coast.
That's the way it was before we crashed. There was a storm. We lost radio contact.
I haven't heard any storm reports within miles of here for the past week.
Why don't you, just tell us about it, Father?
The weather reports were all clear when we left Santo Tomas. The sea was like glass. I asked the pilot to call Miami, so the ambulance will be ready for little Miguel when we arrived. The child was dying, and the parish, poor as they are, raised the money for the operation that would save his life. Suddenly, we were surrounded by these strange clouds. The pilot lost control of the plane. We tried to get off in Mayday, but the radio was dead. And then we crashed. Little Miguel and the pilot were dead instantly. The Cortineses were badly hurt, but I managed to put them onto a piece of a wing. But with little Miguel gone, they just didn't care. They just let themselves be swept into the sea.
How long were you in the air before it happened, Father?
15, 20 minutes.
Well, and how in God's name did you get way out here?
Where are we?
Well, you're about 250 miles northeast of San Thomas.
In the triangle.
What do you mean, the triangle?
The Devil's Triangle. Well, at least that's what people call it.
Why?
Strange things happen here.
Come on, Father, come on.
What kind of things?
Well, the crash. Things like what's happening right here now. Strange lightning. Storms approaching. Out of nowhere. The radio not working.
Strange lightning. Come on, Father, that's connected with, what do you call that thing? The Northern Lights. That's it, the Northern Lights.
As far as the radio's not working, everybody knows that the Earth's magnetic field is completely out of whack out here.
Yeah. That's it.
Perhaps. Some people believe that the triangle is the devil's place. And when it is time for one to die, he tests us here, as he did the Lord in the wilderness. That's why the crew abandoned us.
Marlin off the stern. Let's go, Strickland. We got a fish to catch.
Savvy, I bet you it's bigger than the one we had to cut loose.
You might get that 5,000 yet.
Well, we still got a line out. Strap in and hook on. Saleo! Saleo, start up the engine! What's the matter? I can't get it started. Let me try it. Tagging it! He's tagging it! Better move it with the sail. Come on, Strickland, let's go lose this one. Ah, what a baby. Here, Saleo, let me do it. Hold it steady. Strickland!
Then that strange lightning started again. Maybe the crew was right. We were in the devil's place. It was insanity. Absolutely insane. Here we were, hundreds of miles from anywhere. In this dreadful place called the Devil's Triangle. No crew. No radio. The engine wasn't even working. The storm was getting worse by the minute, and all anybody could think about was a damned fish.
Got it! Don't let him get away. It could get rougher.
Don't you worry about me, Strickland. You just take care of the boat. I'll take care of the fish.
I'm freezing. Father, tell me more about this place.
It's been called the Devil's Triangle by seamen for hundreds of years. The natives call it El Lugar del Diablo, the place of the devil. Many people have been lost here. People, ships, small boats, even planes. Vanished without a trace.
Yet you survived.
There have been survivors before. Some claim they had seen the devil himself.
You said that this is a place where the devil tests us.
Yes, you could say that the Cortineses and I were tested.
And you passed the test. But the Cortineses, their baby, and the pilot, they didn't. Why?
It's not a test of living or dying. It is a test of faith.
In God or in the devil?
What the hell is shooting for? He's already tied up. We would have lost him. All right, let's keep him going before we lose him. Hold him tight now. Slippery. That's it. Okay. Let that hook off. He's a back down. That's it. Okay, now grab hold now.
Seems your friend has caught his marlin.
You all right? Are you okay? Let's go. I said give me a hand.
Hal and Strickland finally pulled the fish on deck. Strickland got his $5,000 bonus. And Hal had beaten his stepbrother once again.
We better get him below or we'll lose him.
Then let's do it now.
Throw him in the air compartment. Hey, Father! Give us a hand.
Of course. You'd better stay inside, my child.
What they went through was madness. Madness. Here, you drink it. You'll need it. It took them nearly an hour. But with Father Martin's help, they finally managed to get it secured below the deck.
You started below the deck?
Yes, there's a refrigerated room right by the storage compartment. Anyway, by the time that they were through, the rain had stopped as suddenly as it had started, and the wind had reached hurricane proportions. When Strickland and Father Martin came back, Hal wasn't with them. Where's Hal?
He's down below trying to imagine how to look at his trophy room.
Hal was more likely imagining the expression on his stepbrother's face when he realized Hal had beaten him once again.
We are not going to be able to hold her. We've got to get the sails down.
Father, will you take the wheel and keep headed into the wind?
Yes.
All right, Saleo, cut the sail. I gotta get the engine started. Saleo, get those sails down. I'm gonna start the engine.
Don't worry. Everything will be all right.
Father Martin kept telling me everything was going to be all right. And then it happened. And then we saw Strickland. I ran. I was scared, but I ran to see if I could help him. Then I saw Saleo. I tried to call for help, but there was a flash of lightning, and he was gone. It was a nightmare. Saleo vanished without a trace, and Strickland dead, wedged in that hatch.
Eva, let's go inside. We cannot stay out here. Let's go inside. Let's go inside. Let's go inside. Get me out of here! Strickland! Help me, Strickland!
hands. Help! We'll get you out. Open. Mama! Take me out. Help me. God, please. Help me out of here. Father! Help me, God! Trying. Help me. I'm trying. Help me, God, out of here. Let me see. Help me. Step back.
When I came to, it was calm, just like it is now. But I knew we were still in the devil's place. I felt his presence all around me. If Father Martin tried to hide it, I'm sure he felt it too.
The storm is over. The Mayday signal is working. The Coast Guard is probably on its way.
We're going to die, Father. I know it. I just know it.
Easy, easy. Everything will be all right.
You really believe that, Father?
Yes, Eva. Have faith. Trust the Lord.
But this isn't the Lord's place. This is the devil's place. And he's here with us right now. Can't you feel him?
I feel only God's presence. Please, Eva, hold on to your faith. He will not forsake you.
You gave up on me a long time ago, Father.
You're wrong, Eva. We're all his children.
What do you think that I was doing with Hal? I'm a prostitute, Father. That's all I've ever been.
So was Mary Magdalene. And the Lord loved her. And he loves you.
And do you love me too, Father? Show me. Show me that you love me.
I love you, Eva. As God loves you. Listen. Listen. I told you to have faith. They're here. They came for us.
I don't hear anything.
Yes. I told you they were coming.
Father.
There. You hear it?
No.
I must make sure they see us.
Where are you going? You can't go up there. Father, there's nothing. Father, come down here. You've got to. Father, there's no one there. There's nothing. Father, don't leave me. Don't leave me here alone, Father. That's all I remember until you found me.
Then it was you who I saw moving around down here.
Almost wish you hadn't. Enough have died on this boat.
No one's gonna die. In a couple hours, we'll be on our way to Miami. Both of us.
After what you've seen here, you can't really believe that.
I know it. You figure because we're in a place called the Devil's Triangle. The Devil's responsible for everything that's happened, don't you?
How else can you explain all that's happened here?
Come on. Come up on the deck with me.
No.
Come on. I want to show you something. Come on. Come on. no mystery here. When Father Martin heard us coming, he grabbed the flare gun. He wanted to make sure we could see his signal, so he ran to climb the mast. Father Martin was excited. Probably never been up on top before. He lost his balance when the platform, weakened by the storm, gave way. The fall snapped his neck. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
Do you want to hear about Strickland? Huh?
Sure.
All right. Now, where were you and Saleo and Strickland and Father Martin came up after storing the Marlin?
Saleo was here.
By the wheel? Here?
No, I was right here when they were coming up the stairs.
From what you told me, Strickland was more concerned about his money than getting his engine started. Not just the $5,000 Hal gave him, but probably every dollar he'd ever earned. But instead of going directly to the engine room, he stopped at the bottom of the ladder to count his money. When the boat pitched, you and Father Martin were flying through the air. And as the bow crashed back into the water, Strickland was catapulted through the hatch. The impact was bone-crushing. He was dead before you ever reached him. I want you to go out on the deck again with me. Come on.
Go out there again.
Yes, you can. Well, come on. There's nothing out here you haven't already seen. Show me exactly where you were when Saleo disappeared.
I was here.
And where was he?
There. Up there.
He'd probably been drinking all day. Saleo should have tied off the booms before he cut the lines. He climbed up on the cabin to secure the main boom, knocked him unconscious, and threw him into the ocean. Lightning probably blinded you the instant it happened.
Oh, God. How do you explain this? What's happened to Hal?
I believe I can explain this, too. Once he got the Marlin stowed in there, Al stayed to admire his trophy. When the storm got worse, he was helplessly thrown about the cabin. He tried to get out, but was continually thrown back. Fearing for his life, he tried to climb his way out. the storm that jammed the door. That's when you heard him screaming for help.
You know something? I don't think I believe in the devil anymore.
Good.
What are you thinking about?
Oh, Pagnolini, the guy I fly with.
What about him?
I was just wondering if he made it back to the base all right.
You're really good friends, huh?
Pagnolini? Yeah. Yeah, I guess we are. Never thought about it much, but I guess we are. Yeah, he's a good guy. Little square, but he's a good guy.
I'd like to meet him.
Hope you do. Pagnolini. Now, there's a guy who always believes. He's a good guy. Like I said, a little square. No vices.
Like you.
No, I got a couple.
How soon do you think they'll be coming to get us?
Probably not till dawn.
Roger, 136. We are holding course for pickup. How am I doing, Venturous? Looking fine, 136.
I don't believe it.
Grab the handrail. Watch your head. Hello, Pac.
Get the belt secured.
Is he always that angry?
Always.
Take care of that body down below.
Right away, sir. Make sure we have enough pictures by now. This report has to be extensive.
Myers, get on the wheel.
How you find them, God only knows.
Magnolini, this is,
Eva.
How do you do?
Pagnolini?
Fasten a belt and get her a helmet and a vest.
I don't need them.
Sorry, regulations.
No!
Magnolini, if she can survive the last 24 hours, she doesn't need a helmet.
Well, you can sure pick 'em, old buddy.
Like I told you. No vices.
We'll see.
Peterson, give me that radio.
Yes, sir.
Venturous 3 to Venturous.
Go ahead, Venturous 3.
Have me patch in through to chopper 136.
Roger.
Hey, find out what was the cause of all that back there?
Just another unsolved mystery of the Devil's Triangle.
Damn it! I asked you a question.
Okay, Pagnolini. There's a logical explanation to everything. And no sign of the devil.
136, come in, please.
136.
This is Captain Dunnick. Let me speak to Haig.
Haig?
Yeah?
Captain Dunnick wants to talk to you on the walkie-talkie.
I'll talk to him back here.
Take it up here.
All right, Pagnolini. Yes, sir, this is Haig.
Your transcript shows you found a dead body, male, hanging from the mast, correct?
Affirmative. He was a priest, Father Martin. First name, Peter. Peter Martin.
That's not what we found. We found a woman. Long blonde hair, about 5'8", 125 pounds. 136, I'm waiting for an answer. Respond.
You've lost your battle, Haig.
mine. Oh, my God.
What do we say? Come in, Captain Dunnick. Captain Dunnick, can you hear me? Come in, please. Come in, please. Come in, please. Can you hear me?
You'll find that's no longer working, Pagnolini.
What do you want?
You, Pagnolini, you're sold.
It's time, then?
It was for the others. It doesn't have to be for you. You know who I am.
I know.
Then you know I can't spare you, Pagnolini.
I'm not afraid to die.
Everybody's afraid to die, Pagnolini. I am the only one who can save your life. All you have to do is ask me to. Ask me, Pagnolini. Ask me to save your life, Pagnolini.
No! No! No, I reject you!
If I cannot have you sold, I will have you married, Pagnolini. Your wife will love me. Your children will love me. She will have me.
No, they won't. They'll reject you. No. As I reject you in God's name.
Then go to your God, Pagnolini. Go to your God.
God.
God. Oh. Oh, my God. I'm utterly sorry. Having offended me.
Det är någonting där ute. En man i vattnet. Det är bäst att ta honom ombord. Sjösätt livbåten.
Alrighty, so that was Satan's Triangle. I know you had to have loved that. I mean, oh my God, when I was young, that ending just chilled me. You know, that laugh. Interesting little note. The current copies of Satan's Triangle, the ending is different. The thing is that at the original ending, just before credits would roll, you would hear Father Peter Martin's laugh, and then the credits would roll. The copies now, what happens is that you see Doug McClure's face. He's waving. The credits start, and they move really fast up. Boom, 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 boom. And then at the end, you hear Father Martin's laugh. This is because, of course, modern times, they will rush through the credits on television now, syndicated television. So it kind of ruins the ending of Satan's Triangle a little bit. Alrighty, a little bit of information on Doug McClure. During the time he made Satan's Triangle, Doug McClure had become well known for playing the hero in a series of very schlocky Edgar Rice Burroughs adaptations, which were done by Amicus Productions. You know, the ones that did most of the anthology films during that time. These films included The Land That Time Forgot, The People That Time Forgot, At Earth's Core, which McClure played opposite Peter Cushing, and of course his last Edgar Rice Burroughs one, Warlords of Atlantis. Now, what's amusing is that these films used life-sized robotic dinosaurs and monsters. And these things were clunky as hell. I mean, you see pterodactyls flying around, and they're not flapping their wings. They're just magically changing directions and stuff. And you see the strings and that. You know, these were really clunky. This was clunky special effects even for 1970. But they're a fun popcorn style films, so I can highly recommend it. And Doug McClure, in these films, he kind of played sort of a poor man's Charlton Heston. You know how Charlton Heston was in the Planet of the Apes films. That's kind of the way that Doug McClure was in these Edgar Rice Burroughs ones. So that was very interesting. Also, just a moment here, I'm checking on my notes. Alrighty, so also the actor who played Father Peter Martin was Alejandro Rey. He was an Argentinian actor and director from Buenos Aires. And he is best known for playing the priest in the television series The Flying Nun, which he played opposite Patty Duke. She played the Flying Nun in it. That was from 1967. Now, people of this generation will probably remember Alejandro as the swinger Spiro from Charles Band's classic horror comedy Terror Vision. So, yeah, so, you know, I love that. You know, oh, is he a manly man? that was funny as shit. So anyways, you know, now it is time for our intermission and coming attractions. I know you're going to be enjoying what's coming up. So let's check that out. Right.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Do you dare to spend a night of terror in the Wax Museum? You can't tell the living from the dead. Do you dare to spend a night of terror in the Wax Museum?
Ladies and gentlemen, the museum is now open. You will meet some of the most fiendish monsters in all history. Cannibals, poisoners, stranglers, stabbers, and rippers.
Terror in the Wax Museum.
Wax thou art, and unto wax thou shalt return.
You can't tell the living from the dead. Where one is the killer, the rest the victims.
What are you doing?
Can't tell the living from the dead. Are they flesh and blood, or are they wax? Are they alive, or are they dead? Jack the Ripper, Ivan the Terrible, Attila the Hun, Lizzie Borden, Lucretia Borgia, Bluebeard. Do you dare to spend a night of terror? Terror in the Wax Museum.
Remarkable, aren't they? So natural, so real, seemingly alive. I'll let you in on a little secret. Some of them are alive. Zombies, frozen in a theater of terror. People puppets, acting on the cues of a madman.
Ralph, Leslie, only move, breathe, move, walk, follow me.
Nightmare in Wax. It started with an accident. Cameron Mitchell as Vincent, once a man, now a monster. Anne Helm.
You comfortable?
Oh, very. Am I going to be in here for long?
Only an eternity, my dear. Now, look, honey, don't try anything funny with that knife. I don't want to hurt you. Don't be
Scott Brady.
Honey?
Observe the preparation of victims about to join Vincent's demonic legion of the walking dead.
Back up.
Nightmare in Wax. Frightening. Diabolical. Weird. Nightmare in Wax. In color. A Crown International release.
Alrighty, so that was our intermission and coming attractions. I know you guys are gonna love both of those Wax Museum films. Oh my god, it's gonna be Waxmania next month. Oh boy. I know you're gonna just absolutely love them. Alrighty, so now it is time for our second feature, Gargoyles. After receiving word about a mysterious skeleton unearthed in the Arizona desert, a father and his daughter visit the man who dug it up, and they grab the skull because the shack that they are in is all of a sudden attacked by gargoyles. They manage to get away and they head off to town, and all of a sudden the town is being besieged by gargoyles living in the nearby caves. So that is Gargoyles. Let's check it out. Enjoy.
The devil was once the most favored of the host of angels serving the Lord. But pride welled in his breast. He thought it unseemly for him to serve. The devil and his band of followers, who likewise suffered the sin of pride, were defeated in battle by the Lord and his host, and were banished to the outermost depths of hell, never to know the presence of the Lord or look on heaven again. Smarting with his wounds, but all the more swollen with pride, the devil cried out from the depths, "It is better to rule in hell than serve in heaven." The devil proclaimed what was lost in heaven would be gained on earth. He said, "My offspring, the gargoyles, will one day rule the Lord's works, earth and man." And so it came to pass that while man ruled on earth, the gargoyles waited, lurking, hidden from the light. Reborn every 600 years in man's reckoning of time, the gargoyles joined battle against man to gain dominion over the earth. In each coming, the gargoyles were nearly destroyed by men who flourished in greater numbers. Now it has been so many hundreds of years that it seems the ancient statues and paintings of gargoyles are just products of man's imagination. In this year, with man's thoughts turned toward the many ills he has brought upon himself, man has forgotten his most ancient adversary, the gargoyles.
I'm so glad you decided to join me. And bring me Calamudri.
You think I'd miss a trip to Mexico with you?
Well, I don't suppose your mother wanted you to come, hmm?
She doesn't know. I don't see her much since she married old Jim.
Yeah, must be quite a change for her.
I think she misses the traveling with you.
I know I do.
Well, here we are, on our way. Calamudri will just about complete my collection of demons. Thank you, darling.
I saw you on that TV talk show.
Did you? I'm glad. Kind of hoped you were watching. What did you think of that self-styled witch they had on with me?
You were, as always, the cool intellectual. She got pretty upset when you started telling her she was just being superstitious about the devil. Do you really think the world of evil is just fantasy?
Who knows? It sells my books. You should have read some of the letters I got at the university after that one. Okay. I've decided to call it 5,000 Years of Demonology. I'm going to try to trace man's conception of evil from 3000 BC to the present. We'll start next month with Mayan and Aztec ruins.
Sounds like another big seller from Professor Mercer Bowley.
Yep. More monsters for fun and profit. Our publisher is planning on putting it out for the next Christmas season. You know, something colorful and expensive for the coffee tables of America.
My sexy pictures in your dry as dust press? When do we start?
Well, I've just got to check out this old guy. I don't know, he's got some wild story. Maybe it's nothing, but it's only a bit out of our way. How did that happen?
We're lost?
No, I must have taken a wrong turn back there.
Sure would hate to get stuck out here in the dark.
Oh, don't worry. I know what I did wrong. We'll double back about 5 miles.
What was that?
I don't know. And take the other turn.
Dad.
Oh, don't worry, dear. It gets worse.
Snake Den?
They serve him for lunch. I wonder which one he's trying to sell me. The only one I'm enthusiastic about is the beer.
Desert fish.
You that Dr. Bowley? You, boss. I was expecting anyone else.
Mr. Leverett, this is my daughter, Diana.
Well, now, ain't that nice? Why don't I just get you some beers?
Sounds good.
Yeah? Did you come to, talk or not?
I came to hear you talk.
You know, Dr. Bowley, you took your own sweet time about getting here. Not that I hold it against you, but my time is valuable, too, not just yours. No, sir, I've got quite a business here. Why don't you just take a look around? That's a real live 11-button killer, little lady.
Mr. Leverett, you wrote me that you had some Indian artifacts and transcripts of authentic exorcism rites.
Sir, I seen you on this TV talk show, and I was impressed with your brains and your know-how. Wrote to you right off to that university where you teach.
Are these your artifacts, this stuff? You know, we've come a long way.
Don't get hot under the collar. Don't pay no mind to this junk. This is for the tourists.
Well, we're not tourists, so if you have something to show me...
Why don't we just sit down and finish our beer?
Now, Mr. Leverett, if you have something worth my while, please get to the point. Otherwise, we'll have to be leaving.
Now, don't rush me. I don't know which way to turn. I thought we'd talk it over and we'd write this book that I have in mind. You know, Uncle Willie's Tales of the Desert.
Well, thank you.
Now, wait a minute. You gotta realize I've got to check you out. To see if you're on the level. You're not just out here to steal my discovery.
Don't worry about it.
But I do worry about it, Dr. Bowley.
Now, look.
But now, wait a minute. I'll show it to you. It's in the shack over there.
Can't we just take a look?
Lead on.
You should have seen this place 25 years ago. You know, I had it all painted up. Had myself a two-headed calf, too. And a Siamese twin chicken. Made my own cider. Why, I tell you, I pulled them in off the road. You know, people always like to have something to stare at, to scare them. Why, nobody ever went west on a vacation without stopping at Uncle Willie's Desert Museum. Yes, sir. Then the highway branch went the other way. Just passed me by. And you know what happened then? Just like that, they all forgot. Wait a minute, wait till I get some light in here. Don't want you stumbling over something in the dark.
Bones. I smell old bones.
I knew I'd picked a smart one.
Sure is lonely out here.
Oh, I like it like that. I own this place outright. I got my pension. Pass my time thinking about a book I'm going to write. You just wouldn't believe the things I know. Things that I've never told anybody. Just been saving up till the right moment. You'll see. You'll see. You'll be glad you came to see old Willie.
What is it?
I just got it put back together again.
What do you mean put back together again? That never was together. You assembled that out of a pile of old junk bones.
No. I found it whole over in the canyon. Carted it back in my pickup. Oh, you can't imagine how difficult it is to match them bones to.
Come on, Uncle Willie. This is excellent work, but it's a concoction of unrelated bones. Some animal, some human. It's, if I had more time, I'd ask you how you manage the joints for the wings. That took real imagination. Coming up with wings.
Oh, This is not a trick. This is not for them tourists. This is the real thing. You don't believe me.
Willie, your talent is wasted out here.
Now, wait, Dr. Foley. I've never showed this to nobody. I thought you would be the one smart enough to understand. Listen to me. The Indians named this place Devil's Crossing in their own language back when they had a camp here. They lived here for hundreds and hundreds of years. The Indians told all about these devils, these spirits. They were real. I've got all the stories.
I'm sorry, Willie.
Dr. Bowley, them devils used to live up there in the rocks. Came all of a sudden, like. Just played hell with the tribes. Then they chased them off with their sacrifices and their offerings. An old Indian told me it was his tribe's main legend for hundreds of years. Now, ain't that worth a book, ain't it? No! No free pictures. Now, either you make a deal with me to write this book 50-50 with my picture on the cover, or you just get out. Get out.
All right, Willie, you're on. Let's hear the story. Hey, why are you locking that? What for?
It's getting late out now. I've got my good reasons, Dr. Bowley. I always bolt all the doors when the sun goes down.
Can you remember what the Indian word was for the devils in the legends?
Let me see. Nakatachikos. That's it. This great chief saw the Nakatakachinko in the desert, and he had the tribe make costumes for all the elders, like the Nakatakachinko, for the ritual of manhood called Nonataya. Nonataya.
What about, can you recall the ritual itself?
Let me think.
Just a minute.
Ritual. All the young men dressed for battle gathered around the Nakatakachinko and...
What's that?
I don't care to know, Dr. Bowley.
Could have seen them.
Oh, please, just get us out of here.
Poor old guy.
am scared to death, but I managed to grab the tape recorder. I guess that proves I'm basically materialistic. You got your research, Dad.
Yeah. Diana, turn on the tape recorder and run it back a bit. I want to hear those sounds.
Ritual of manhood called Nonataya.
What about, can you recall the ritual itself?
Let me think.
Just a minute.
Ritual. All young men dressed for battle gathered around the Nakatikachinko and...
What's that?
I don't care to know, Dr. Bowley.
Please, can I turn it off?
All right, dear, I'm sorry. What was that? Diana, can you see anything? They're on the roof. Hold tight.
Folks all right? What happened to you?
Well, we ran off the road in the dark. We want to go to a motel. Maybe in the meantime you could fix this up so we can make it out of here.
I'll see what I can do. There's a motel right next door. I tell you, this is going to be quite a job, though. I better get a jack.
Do you have a room, please? I'm sorry, I know it's terribly late, but we just had a car wreck. The car's being repaired over at the gas station. And, we're pretty shaken up. Do you have something for us?
You gotta understand that I gotta be careful. I get some pretty weird types. Some pretty rough customers come up this road. And a woman alone can't be too careful.
Right.
One room for you and the young lady.
Yeah, that'd be fine. I'm Mercer Bowley and my daughter Diana.
Room's right down here. Was it Mercer?
Yes.
Tell me how it happened, Mercer. Was it a big wreck?
No. It was...
Oh, we got a lot of doozies on this road. Was anybody killed?
No.
Here it is. Why don't you have a nightcap while your daughter gets some rest, huh?
Well, I think...
2 weeks ago, I had a traveling salesman who was staying here who drove out on that road and got totaled by a semi right in front of my eyes. Well, the engine went right through the front seat. And just a minute before, he had been saying goodbye to me.
Well, I can imagine how he felt. Thank you. Thank you.
What's that? I don't care to know, Dr. Bowley.
Please don't play that thing anymore. I can't stand to hear it again.
Oh, sorry, dear. You had a bit of sleep. How do you feel?
I had a nightmare. What time is it?
Noon.
We've got to go tell somebody about last night.
Well, about the old man, yes. The rest of it wouldn't make much sense until I have some facts.
The skull, that's a fact.
It's not the right kind of fact. But I'm going to have it carbon dated at the university when we get back to Los Angeles. Looks to be 400 to 600 years old.
What are we going to do about the old man?
Well, that we'll have to report to the police.
How are we going to explain it?
I'm not going to. I'm going to let them puzzle about it.
You're sure the old man was dead?
Oh, yeah. The ceiling beam, real heavy, fell right on top of him. Then the lantern fell and it was burning kerosene all over the place, and the whole thing went up. We couldn't get to him. We barely got out. There's nothing out there. They're gone.
There. Step on it, Jesse.
Yeah.
There's your answer. Hold it.
Name?
James T. Rieger.
You got any ID, Rieger?
Not on me.
Come back clean the old man's place out after your little fun last night?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, your kind never does. Come on. Get it over. Come on the ground. Get it. Come on, get down there. You go on down to the car and radio town. Tell them we need a truck. We got 5 guys out here. These guys are always riding through. Gangs causing trouble.
What gangs? We ain't riding choppers.
Can't you tell these guys are just dirt riders?
We've had nothing but trouble from this kind.
What are the charges?
You just quiet down. You've had it this time. I'll lay it out this way, Bully. These guys came back last night and hit Uncle Willie's place while you were here. Probably just for kicks, or whatever loot they could find.
But when we ran out, there was no one around.
Huh? Well, they could have been out behind the shed.
So what do you plan to do with them?
Take them in and book them.
How can you assume they did it?
Well, we found them here. Some of Uncle Willie's things on them. Loot, and that's enough to start with.
We didn't do a thing except pick up some junk out of the ashes.
You know, they could be telling the truth. They just happened to be riding by this morning.
Yeah, well then, who caused all the trouble out here last night?
Could have been one of these sudden winds. Shook loose some of the timbers.
Well, you have your theory, Bully. I'll have mine.
Why would you let those guys go to jail?
Well, there's no way to stop that, darling. All I could do was cast enough doubt so the chief would take it easy.
If I didn't know you better, I think you were trying to hold back till you could capitalize on it. What you got in mind, another bestseller?
All right. Let's suppose we tell them about the creatures. Let's suppose we tell them how they rocked the shed, a pretty big structure. How they shook loose big beams. We tell them... No, you tell them. How they overtook the car. You describe them. And all the rest of it. Think they'll believe us? No. Not till I get something tangible.
Ritual. All the young men dressed for battle gathered around the Nakatikachink.
dead?
Yes. Some kind of cold-blooded creature. Fascinating.
It's repulsive.
As he was dying, he looked up at me just like a human being, as if he were asking for help.
What is it?
I've seen them many times before, even before last night.
You mean in your books?
The gargoyles in Gothic cathedrals, Egyptian carvings. I never believed that they... But now, my book will be not only about myths and legends, but about reality.
What do they want with us?
Not us. They want the bones of their dead. We've got to get this body to L.A. They'll be back for this one, too. Who is it?
Who is it? Who do you think it is? It's Mrs. Parks, the manager. Now let me in.
I don't want to see this. What is it, Mrs. Parks?
What is it? All that ruckus and fighting scared me to death. What are you two doing in there anyway? I had to get out of bed and get dressed. Now let me in. Well?
It was nothing really, just a family argument.
Some family. I am going to be listening. And the very next problem I hear, I will call the police. I've seen them all. Drunks, dopers. But I got a feeling I got a new one this time.
Diana? Diana! Diana?
I'd like to speak to the chief of police.
I'm sorry, Miss Bowley. Chief's home in bed. I'm staying with the prisoners tonight.
Well, I've got to talk to somebody about them now. You've got to let them go.
Now, Miss Bowley, the chief just booked them this afternoon. I've got to hold them till tomorrow for the arraignment.
But they're innocent. They didn't kill the old man. My father and I can prove it now.
Hey, listen to her, man. Let us out.
I can't do that. Only a judge can dismiss charges now.
Well, call the judge. I'll show him the proof. But you've got to do it now. My father is leaving for L.A. tonight.
Look, Miss Bowley, I can understand you feeling bad about all this, but why don't you just go on home and go to bed, huh?
Listen, I'm really sorry about what's happened, and I'm going to do everything I can to get you out of here. That's a promise.
You got a key?
Now, come on, Miss Bowley. Just leave the men alone.
You're not going to believe what happened.
Try me.
In our motel room, we have a huge, giant, dead animal. It looks like a lizard.
Giant lizard.
Only it has a beak. It really looks like a monster.
Hold on, you got a giant lizard with a beak in your motel room.
Yes, and it's called a gargoyle. My father's
what?
a scientist. It's called a gargoyle. And last night at Willie's place, a bunch of these gargoyles attacked the building, and they caused a fire.
Big giant lizards with beaks.
Yes. And there was a fire, and Uncle Willie got killed. And then we
Hey,
grabbed
come
the
here,
skull,
come
and we
here.
ran to the...
You and your old man sniffing glue back in that motel?
Miss Bowley, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave right now.
Well, I'm sorry you don't believe me. But I'm doing what I can to help you.
Listen, thanks. I mean that. I really do. Sorry I laughed.
Now, you. The least you can do is walk me back to my motel.
I got to stay with the prisoners.
Better go with her, man. One of them gar things is going to get her.
You pipe down and get some sleep.
Where have you...
They're coming!
Get here, get here!
They're
Oh, Jesse, you got that state patrol yet? Phones are all out, right? Electricity, too.
I hid in my cabin while it was all happening. Screaming and breaking.
Okay, come on.
They tore down Dr. Bowley's door. I don't know what was happening. And that girl was screaming for help.
All right, now, come on, Miss Parks. All right, come on. Now, sit down. Take it easy. Now, did you see anyone?
No, I was afraid to go outside. But something funny was going on about an hour before. Fighting in Dr. Bowley's cabin.
And that's when the Bowley girl showed up over here?
That's right.
That's right. That's when that idiot tossed her out. If she was onto something, could have cleared us, and he tossed her out.
I'm sorry, Ray. I just thought it would keep till morning. I thought she was trying to con us into letting these guys out.
Hey, look, Chief, she talked to me last night. She told me what it was they had over there. They wanted to show you.
Tell me all about it.
Okay, she said they had some kind of a dead thing. She called it a monster.
A monster?
That's what she said. She said it was part of the same bunch that attacked her and her father on the road and then killed the old guy. That's what she said.
And you expect me to believe that?
You better believe it. Because it's true.
Bully, I thought you and your daughter were gone.
They took Diana. They overturned my car. I was unconscious. I couldn't follow them.
But what are they?
Gargoyles. Creatures. What's the difference? Look, I want a search party. Now. State police. They're going to kill my daughter if they haven't already done so. Do you understand?
All right, Jesse, you get a search party together. Send somebody after the state patrol.
A search party? Who? We got no manpower. Everybody's scared to death this morning. They wouldn't leave their wives and kids after what happened last night.
You got us. You got our bikes. We know the desert.
No. What's to keep you guys from taking off in all directions?
Well, you can't hold them anyway. I told you they had nothing to do with it. Let's get after them. That's all that counts.
Dogs ready to go, J.D.? You get the state police and don't let anything stop you. Go to Highway Patrol office and have them bring plenty of men. Maybe a chopper, too, and then have them call the National Guard.
Don't worry, we should be there in about 2 hours. Let's go.
All right, come on, let's go. I'm going. Oh, you okay?
Yeah.
You know how to handle that thing?
Well enough.
Don't worry, we got the best pack of mountain lion dogs in the country.
Looks like dogs got the scent.
All right, come on, everybody. Let's move out of here. Come on, let's go.
Parks, I'll be honest with you. I'd rather be sitting in here with you than out with that search party.
Me too.
Diana.
Let me go.
No.
Why? You can speak. Tell me why. These are my father's books. He teaches from them.
Then you must teach me, Diana.
Said creatures. What kind of creatures?
Yeah, what are we chasing?
Well, there's one killed. I examined it. It's some form between reptiles and human. I think of a pretty high order of intelligence. At least they're well organized.
Why haven't we seen them before?
I don't know. But there have been outbreaks of things like this. You see them in the legends of a dozen different cultures. Stories, paintings, sculpture. From ancient Egypt to Babylon, Yucatan, medieval Europe. And they always look the same. It's as if they've existed along with mankind from the beginning of time. They were the evil one, you see, the demons, the gargoyles.
What's that add up to for us?
Well, I think we have the same creatures here. They show up, about every 400 or 500 years. I'm guessing that that's their incubation period. And the eggs are beginning to hatch again.
Huh. Something like the 17-year locust.
Yeah, something like that.
Why'd they take Diana?
Well, in legends, they've been reported to take human women.
Ray, over here in the gully. Come on. That's buddy's truck.
Look at the wonder where they went. Jesse, we better spread out.
Okay, I'll take the Dark Canyon Road.
What's all this for?
There is a great deal we must learn. We have only been alive for a few weeks. We must not let you kill us out. Not this time.
What about the others?
There are perhaps maybe a dozen of us. We mean no harm. You have nothing to fear. Your people have nothing to fear. But they have never understood.
Why do I have to stay here if you mean us no harm?
Shh.
What's up?
Plug's found.
Hey, there's a woman hanging from that pole.
Mrs. Parks.
I wonder what happened to the guy that was with her.
Who knows? Guess that's supposed to scare us off.
Yeah, well, it worked. Come on, let's get out.
Hey, hold on. They still got the girl.
Hey, she's dead by now.
And we don't know that. Look, Ray, they're going to use all the help they can get. What about it? Come on, how about it?
All right.
What about you guys? Hey, whoa, what's wrong?
I've had it.
You too?
Yeah.
Speak. You have been listening and learning. Speak.
In the desert, close by, men, horses, and dogs.
The eggs.
They're hatching. A winged one, another breeder. There'll be many, many more by tomorrow.
We must stop them in the desert. Now! Now!
Sir! Chief!
You want to see the girl?
Yes.
Leave that. Follow me.
What have you done with my daughter?
Do you think that you tricked me into bringing you here? You only tricked yourself. You and your daughter will never see another human again. 500 years we waited. And now our eggs have begun to hatch again. But we must have time. Time enough to grow strong before you and your kind destroy us. And we shall not die. It will be you and your kind that die.
And what if mankind isn't ready to be wiped off the face of the earth?
Oh, you'll be around to see it, Boldy. The end of your age. The beginning of mine.
What?
Oh! Now you will read to me.
Pray read this and heed it. My account delivered with hope of redemptions to the Holy Fathers this first day of July in the year 1417 by Germaine d'Argent, a poor woman of Lourdes.
Go on. Your voice pleases me.
The sin was not my own, but forced upon me by the incubus, who of a night did slip into my bedchamber and taunt and seduce me with demons' promises, until I was as if on fire. He was of uncommon height and finely built, a devil's face of frightful beauty that did put me in a spell. I had no will of my own, but did let the incubus do his will until I was driven mad.
Diane, don't worry. I have no need for you human. I am merely curious.
Diana.
Dad! Dad! Help! Help!
Diana's alive. They're in the caves. I know the way in. I saw some of the gargoyle eggs. Hundreds and hundreds. There must be tens of thousands hidden in there. Once they hatch, they'll spread out, cover the whole country. We've got to wipe them out tonight.
We'll have the state police here in a couple hours.
No, I'm not going to wait. If you don't want to go in with me, then I'm going in alone.
I'll go. I want to go.
Okay. How much gas in those cans?
Well, one's full, the other's half empty.
Well, we'll need all of it. See if we can force them out. Chief, if you and Jesse hide below, where they can't spot you, make sure they don't get away with Diana.
Okay.
Let her go! The girl comes with me.
You hear that? They'll be here in a moment.
You brought them here to kill us.
We kill you before you can kill us. Go. Alone you have a chance. The rest of you are finished.
Not while there are two winged breeders left.
It's only her wing. You can carry her.
No! How clever you are. Your choice has allowed you and your daughter to survive. It also allows me and my kind to survive. Perhaps at the price of your supremacy on Earth one day.
Alrighty, so that was Gargoyles. Can you believe that that film actually won an Emmy Award? That's right, a made-for-TV horror film about gargoyles got the Emmy Award. Also, the gargoyles themselves were created by one of the Westmore brothers. You know, if you know the story of the Westmores, they are the #1 family in makeup effects in Hollywood. Also, amongst the cast is Grayson Hall, who is best known as Dr. Hoffman in Dan Curtis's horror soap opera Dark Shadows. And also among the cast is Scott Glenn, who went on to have a fantastic film career, after these meager beginnings. So anyways, that is it for Gargoyles. Now, from our dear friend Johnny Johnson and Darkstone Pictures, I am proud to present Mr. Lobo as the infamous psychic Criswell. Enjoy.
Greetings, my friend. I'm the all-powerful Criswell. For years, I foretold the almost unbelievable, related the unreal, and showed it to be more than a fact. We are all interested in the future because that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives, whether we want to or not. So let us remember the past, honor the present, and be amused by the future. I predict a consolidation of television networks. As there were once 3 to 5 channels of small screen entertainment, so it will be again. In the coming years, we will see Sci-Fi, Court TV, Boomerang, and HG merge to become Cyborg and Garden. Nickelodeon, MTV2, History, and VH1 merge to become a new network called N1H1. Discovery, Disney, Travel combine to become Disheveled Network. Cartoon Network will consolidate with ESPN, MyTV, and Spike TV and become PN My Spittoon. Chiller, Speed, A&E, Animal Planet, and the Food Network join up to become the Fast Food Chili Cheese Dog Network. And ABC, CBS, PBS, HBO, TCM, AMC, USA, and DYI will all merge to form the Alphabet Channel. Time is eternal. It is a ribbon with no beginning and no end, my friends. The past is just a continuation of the future, and this ribbon is wrapped tightly around your present. So may this knowledge of tomorrow entertain you, inform you, and empower you with prosperity and success today. Good night, my dearest friend. And may God help us in the future.
Alrighty, so that was this month's Criswell Predicts. John absolutely loves Criswell Predicts, so do I. Criswell Predicts is, of course, brought to you by Johnny Johnson and Darkstone Pictures, so check out Darkstone Pictures and get yourself some wonderful films. They've got the Skeleton Key series, they've got the Lovecraft Chronicles, they've got the Jester, they've got a whole bunch of other films, including Johnny Johnson's fantastic adaptation of Plan 9. So check out Darkstone Pictures. Alrighty, so that is it for this edition of Bloodbath Theatre. Check us out next month as we have those 2 fantastic Wax Museum films. So it's going to be, Waxapalooza next month. So as always, keep America strong. Watch horror films. Enjoy.